Hello everyone, welcome to our Year 4 Mathematics lesson. Today we are going to learn about fractions through a healthy pizza shop. Look at the pizza shop on the screen. 3 customers have ordered different fractions of pizza. Can we help them understand and match the correct pizza parts? In this lesson, we will explore how a whole pizza can be divided into equal parts. We will also learn how to read, compare, and use fractions in real-life situations. By the end of the lesson, you will design your own healthy fraction pizza. Now, what do you notice about the pizza in the shop? Now, let us meet our customers. Amy wants 1/2 of pizza. Ben wants 1/4 of pizza. Sarah wants 3/4 of a pizza. Before we learn the rules, let us think like young mathematicians. Which pizza should each customer get? Look carefully at the shaded parts. Do all the pizza show the same amount? Which one shows the smallest amount? Which one shows the biggest amount? We don't need answer immediately. We will investigate step by step. Now, point the customer who wants the biggest part. By the end of today's lesson, you will be able to do 3 things. First, you will recognize simple fractions. Second, you will compare simple fractions. Third, you will apply fractions in daily life. Fractions are not only numbers in a textbook. We can see fractions when we share food, measure ingredients, read a number line, or design something useful. Which learning goal do you think is most useful in real life? Let's begin with an important question. What is a fraction? A fraction shows how many equal parts we take from a whole. Look at the pizza on the blackboard. The whole pizza is divided into equal parts. If the parts are not equal, we can't describe them correctly with a simple fraction. The word equal is very important. Fractions must come from equal parts of one whole. When we take one slice from equal parts, we can describe that slice using a fraction. Why must the parts be equal? Before we learn about parts, we need to understand one whole. This one whole pizza. Nothing has been taken away. The whole pizza represents one complete thing. In mathematics, we write one whole as 1. When we divide the whole into parts, we still begin with a complete object. The fraction tells us how much of that whole we are talking about. Can you name one whole object in the classroom? Now let us divide one whole pizza into 2 equal parts. When a whole is divided into 2 equal parts, each part is 1/2. We write 1/2 as 1/2. The bottom number tells us how many equal parts the whole is divided into. Here, the pizza is divided into 2 equal parts. The top number tells us how many parts we have. Here, we are looking at one part. So 1 out of 2 equal parts is 1/2. If I eat 1/2, how many pizza is left? Next, we divide the whole pizza into 4 equal parts. When a whole is divided into 4 equal parts, each part is 1/4. We write 1/4 as 1/4. Compare this with 1/2. A quarter is smaller than a half because the same whole pizza is divided into more equal parts. 1/4 means 1 out of 4 equal parts. Which is smaller, 1/2 or 1/4? How do you know? A fraction have 2 important parts, the numerator and the denominator. The numerator is the top number. It tells us how many parts we have. The denominator is the bottom number. It tells us how many equal parts the whole is divided into. Look at the fraction 1/4. The numerator is 1, so we have 1 part. The denominator is 4, so the whole pizza is divided into 4 equal parts. Remember, the parts must be equal. In 3/4, which number is the numerator? Which number is the denominator? Fractions can also show positions on a number line. Look at the number line from 0 to 1. 0 means none of the whole. 1 means the complete whole. Between 0 and 1, we can place fractions such as 1/4, 1/2, and 3/4. 1/2 is exactly in the middle between 0 and 1. This means 1/2 is halfway to 1 whole. Where is 1/2 on the number line? Closer to 0, closer to 1, or in the middle? Now, let us compare two fractions, 1/2 and 1/4. Look at the pizza. 1/2 means the whole pizza is divided into 2 equal parts. And we take 1 part. 1/4 means the whole pizza is divided into 4 equal parts. And we take 1 part. The half slice is larger than the quarter slice. So we can write 1/2 is greater than 1/4. Which symbol means greater than? Sometimes different fractions can show the same amount. Look at the first pizza. 1/2 is shaded. Now look at the second pizza. 2 out of 4 equal parts are shaded. The shaded amount is the same. That means 1/2 is equivalent to 2/4. Equivalent fractions have different numerators and denominators, but they represent the same value. How many quarters make 1/2? Let us practice with our customer again. Amy wants 1/2 of pizza. Ben wants 1/4 of pizza. Sari wants 3/4 of pizza. Look at the shaded part and match each other with the correct pizza. Ask yourself, How many equal parts are there? How many parts are shaded? The shaded parts help us read the fraction correctly. Who gets the most pizza? Who gets the least pizza? Now we will use fractions in a STEM challenge. Imagine you are designing a healthy pizza for the shop. The pizza is divided into 4 equal parts. Each quarter has a different topping: vegetables, cheese, tomato, and mushroom. Each topping takes 1/4 of the whole pizza. When we plan the toppings using fractions, we can make sure the whole pizza is complete and balanced. What healthy topping would you put on 1/4 of your pizza? Let us combine parts to make one whole. On the board, we have 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/2. Then 1/2 plus 1/2 make one whole. So 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/2 equal 1. This shows that different fraction parts can join together to make a complete whole. Can you think of another way to make one whole using quarters? Now it's time to explain your healthy fraction pizza. When you present, use clear fraction words. For example, you can see 1/4 of my pizza has vegetables, 1/4 has corn, 1/4 has tomato, 1/4 has mushroom. A good explanation tells us the parts, the fraction, and how the whole pizza is completed. Say one sentence about your pizza. Design using a fraction 1/4. Let's check what we know. Question 1. Shade 1/2 of the pizza. Question 2. Circle 1/4 of the pizza. Question 3. Which fraction is greater, 3/4 or 1/2? Use pictures to help you. Count the equal parts first, then count the shaded or chosen parts. For the last question, 3/4 is greater than 1/2 because 3/4 is more than 2/4. Show your answer with your fingers. Is 3/4 greater or smaller than 1/2? Let us review our key ideas. One whole means one complete object. 1/2 means 1 out of 2 equal parts. 1/4 means 1 out of 4 equal parts. Equivalent fractions can show the same amount, such as 1/2 and 2/4. The most important idea is this: fractions are equal parts of a whole. Which fraction idea do you remember best today? Before we finish, let us reflect. Fractions help us in real life. We can use fractions when we share food, design pizza, compare amounts, or explain parts of a whole. Complete one of this sentence. I learned blah blah blah. I can blah blah blah. Or I wonder blah blah blah. Great work today. You have explored fractions, compare fractions, and use fractions to design a healthy pizza. Share one thing you learned about fractions today.